Bro, you can't be saying that on stream.
How much you bench? Don't talk to me.
Classic. You have to outbench him in order to
If
communicate with
I had a
him.
penny for every time Jate said, "How much can you bench?"
If you had a penny for how much I could bench, you'd have more pennies.
Oh.
That was actually kind of cold. I respect that line.
Thank you.
Um,
I still haven't hit 100 yet, though, so kind of sad.
yeah, true. I wouldn't have 100 pennies.
Have a
would I?
dollar. Bro wouldn't even have a dollar.
Yeah,
If
you
I
could
had a
have
penny for how much you
95
could bench,
cents.
I wouldn't even be able to afford.
Hey,
Um,
whoa.
I don't know, what the
95
hell costs
cents
a dollar?
is a decent amount of money, alright? Also, I never
Maybe
said
if you live
kilo.
in, like,
I never
Cambodia.
said per kilogram. That's 95,000 grams.
True. Which is
So-
like none. I'm not gonna try to do that math. There's too many
Um,
zeros going on in my head.
What? 1,000
That-
times more?
Is that $100?
$95,000.
No, bro, pennies.
100 pennies is a dollar. Isn't a penny a cent?
Yeah.
So how would 100 of them be a... What? Wait,
What?
what?
What is
How would a-
humor?
What is humor?
Yeah. Why do we find things funny?
I have a
That's
theory about
good
this.
question.
Okay, yeah, give us your theory.
So without humor, we would go insane and also kill like we'll pursue things that humor is a way of combating things that don't make sense, right? If something doesn't make sense, instead of obsessing over it and trying to find the solution and dying in like evolutionary times, then we actually just put it down to something that's funny, and the oddity is excused.
Big anti. No cleanse.
That's my
So,
theory.
I don't know if it has to do with being able to find reasoning for it or not being able to find reasoning, because
Well, think about it. Most
So,
humor is
I feel
based
like-
on unexpected stuff happening.
Unexpected stuff, yeah.
On the face of it, I agree with what Colin said. But I
Theory
think
one.
that also does support that
Yeah,
kind of like
pushing.
thing I was talking about earlier, which is like an evolutionary
She's not one.
interpretation of aesthetics. And what do you think? To summarize, basically Colin was saying that like we find things funny because it's a way of dealing with things that don't make sense. And
Oh,
so
I heard
we-
Colin's statement. Yeah, what was your
Okay. Well, so then I was saying like on the face of that, I'd say I agree with that, but that then lends itself to that kind of evolutionary interpretation of aesthetics. Do you
Hanzo one.
agree with that?
I don't know. Maybe humor's a different a different thing to beauty. Because
I think
that things can be-
I think
things
humor
can be
is
not
similar to
beautiful, but they can be funny. So I'd say yeah, maybe they are
like a
different.
really
Maybe I
fat
was wrong
person,
about saying they're the same.
funny looking.
I mean, yeah, there's no reason to say that they'd necessarily be the same, but I do
Bugs
think
Curie?
that, like,
A joke can be unaesthetic, like poorly formed, gross, but it can still be funny.
I think that when we talk about like we're talking about sort of morality, beauty, humor, these are all ways that we make value judgments about things.
Yes, exactly.
And I think we'd say that when it comes to morality, I think there's definitely a strong case for an evolutionary, like, development of morality. Wouldn't you agree?
Maybe? Yeah. Like
And I think
socially.
that, like, for humor, what Colin was saying would agree with that as well. So I feel like when we talk about the ways in which we make value judgments, I think it does make sense.
They
to
are
base
all evolutionarily.
on an evolutionary.
Oh my
outcome.
God,
I mean, not that that's
Oh, he primaled me into the visor.
but I do think that that's something that would be like.
I think
probably-
humor is
I think
just
that's an interesting
another.
piece. I'd be interested to see if you could take that. Like, I don't know. I feel like I don't have the answer to that question.
I think humor's being overcomplicated too much. It's just like it's the same idea of saying why are people like happy. Like, it's like a reaction to just something.
Well, but like every
I kinda
emotion has
consider
a
it just
reason behind it.
reaction.
I need healing.
Well,
I need
emotion
healing.
has
I
a
need
reason
healing. I
behind
need
it.
healing.
It's like an idea of expressing to people around you, like how you're feeling. You know, like your fate, like your body language, or it's ways to express how you feel, stuff like that. So I think humor is also just another expression.
Oh yeah, like humor, like laughter. I'd say definitely serves as like a social function. Same as like crying.
Yeah.
But what you're
It's like
explaining is
all-
facial expressions, not emotions.
Sure.
Well, no, it's the whole idea of just like, kind of like, you know, body language, like express how someone feels or how they're acting.
Yeah, but that's
like,
not the
it's kinda
same
like
thing
an
as an emotion.
act. Push.
Exactly. You still feel emotions even when you don't like
Express them.
express them.
And we have Nanoblade.
Brother, I called you a monkey. If that upsets you, then
Okay.
maybe you're a monkey.
I've Blade. Do you want to go in?
Go for it.
Give me some heals first. There we go. Boom.
Big. Soldier. Nope. Easy. Clippity clapped. That was huge.
Sombra gameplay. Sombra.
He's becoming a he's being a Junkrat and a Sombra.
Bro needs to touch more than grass. Bro needs to touch a tree.
Nice nap.
Yeah. So they're talking about the fact that as I nanobladed, I actually got slept, but they woke me up.
Oh. I thought they were saying
Nice
someone on the
nap.
team wasn't playing.
No. I took a nap.
How was your nap?
It was brief.
Brave.
Oh, we're defending. Do I play Sombra on
I'm not
defense? You know,
currently
I
playing
could.
I feel like
on anymore.
to an extent, like any explanation besides an evolutionary explanation for aesthetics seems a bit spiritual, which isn't necessarily wrong, but I just don't think that you can like explain it in a way that is really scientific besides saying that, you know?
Well, why do you
Yes.
think it would be beneficial to be like aesthetic?
What?
Isn't that what you're saying that?
I feel
Uh,
like aesthetic things can sometimes evolutionary like bad. Like
What's the
I don't
Grace?
know. Do you know what I mean?
I'm just saying from a like a evolutionary standpoint, what benefit does being aesthetic have? You know?
Well, if you appreciate things that are beautiful, and when we think about the things that we appreciate that are beautiful, like say flowers, grass, children, etc., it's like things that are good for survival. When we think about things that are funny, you know, you think about that as a mechanism for dealing with uncertainty and stuff like that. When you think about an aesthetic experience of, you know, the sublime, for example, you know,
Okay, but
like,
these are all very specific examples. Like people find beauty
Yeah.
in like many things that
yeah,
aren't
I mean,
necessarily
it's a simplified
evolutionary
version.
advantages.
It's a simplified version of it, but like, I mean, at the end of the day, like, I mean, obviously, like, you know, evolution, everything is extremely complex. But if you were to say like, people feel a certain way, I mean, obviously, you can make.
Do you
Up
think
an interpretation.
emotions are an evolutionary like benefit?
Do I think what? Sorry.
Like emotions,
Yeah.
emotional responses?
Yeah. I mean, on the face of it, yeah, I would say.
Well, I'm
Like,
just thinking
yeah,
about like
maybe,
you know,
yeah.
if you're a caveman, how would being aesthetic? I mean, that's just how I'm thinking about it. If I'm just going really far back,
How
obviously,
would
but
that make you survive?
yeah,
Well, I mean, in the ways that I just talked about, like when we think
yeah, but
about
like you know,
aesthetics,
like
like
for example,
cleanliness is like, you know,
like the fact that having opposable thumbs, you know, helped us create tools, gather hard. Like those are beneficial, but you know, a tiger's not gonna care if you're good looking.
no, but
Like I'm just like from a
but actually, a
survival
tiger might
point of
care if
view.
you're good looking. If you think about, you know, like I mean, obviously there's a lot of factors nowadays that influence it, but if you think about, you know, purely evolutionarily, if you think about what makes someone good looking, right? A lot of those factors could be looked at as evolutionary factors if you think about, you know,
Oh, so you're
big
saying
muscles
what
being good
makes
looking.
people aesthetic has like the things individually have a. Okay, I get what you're saying now.
Yeah.
That makes more sense. Yeah, I get it. I get it. No, that's a good point actually. I kind of
I don't know. I mean,
like you're saying that like a feature of the human body that people consider aesthetic had an
I'm
evolutionary
saying that
advantage.
things that would be helpful to us evolutionarily, we
Mm.
would then perceive them
Okay,
as
but
that
then so
way.
that like I don't know. There's some things that like I don't know.
That is
Would you then
true
say that
though.
like people have wrong aesthetic experiences when they're like maybe attracted to features that are evolutionarily disadvantageous? Like I don't know. Like for example, if someone was like there are people in this world like it's not impossible. There are people that are like attracted to like very overweight people, whereas like you know you might say that
Yeah.
would that then be an incorrect aesthetic judgment. I would say that you can't have an incorrect
No,
aesthetic judgment.
I don't think that you could have an incorrect aesthetic judgment either. I just think that, like, I mean, like, if you talk about genetic evolution and stuff like that, you know, there's lots of mutations and not all of them are correct. It's just about over the long term, which
Yeah,
one's
maybe.
dominant.
But
No,
I think, you know,
agree.
humans
I
don't
agree
really
with Will to a
have,
certain extent.
like, we don't really have natural selection anymore.
Well, arguably not, and maybe that produces different outcomes now. But
Definitely
when you
not.
when you look about, I would say, well, I mean, I'm not an expert in the field, but I would assume that at least to some extent, yes. Or like,
I almost got
there
the
are
health back.
still cases that play
Bye, Race.
different evolution.
Okay, if you think about it, for example, like some things that humans would be attracted or would consider attractive, like, you know, guys like breasts, and it's been, brother, there's no way you got slept at. What?
That's
Like,
a
the
weird
whole
thing, though, because a lot of that is, like, social. Because, like, in a lot of cultures,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
people don't find breasts attractive because they're not, like, hidden
Yeah.
away.
But when
Yeah.
people like have it from an evolutionary standpoint, it signifies like the ability to have children, which is, you know,
There are obviously like
humans are typically biologically driven to do. So I kind of agree with Will on that idea.
there are a lot of social aspects that come into things as well, but social aspects, I mean, I guess that's always going to be like you know, everything is extremely complex. I'm just saying that at the end of the day, I think it would ultimately come down a large part
A lot to
social
evolution.
influence and genetics and, like, you know, Darwinist factors.
Well,
and
you
things
would
like
have
that.
to think about, like, for
It has
example,
a
how
lot of
people
complex
find.
variables within it, but
Well, it's like how some people find like certain eye colors more attractive. It's like what? How would that, you know? How would having blue eyes, for example, be?
We can continue later.
I mean, to that extent, I think
Now?
that's like a really, really
Um,
specific example of it.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
You
Yeah,
call
now,
it.
now. Go. There's an honor on me that could be killed. And a Zen. Nice. There's a soldier up top.
There's so many factors going on beyond just like saying like one thing.
I think
makes
Will
one
has it
outcome.
right though with the
But I
evolutionary
feel
thing
like
to a
at the end
certain.
of the day, like, it is the product of all of those environmental factors more so than being something spiritual. Although, you know, saying it's something spiritual isn't necessarily wrong. It's a different way of looking at it. But I just
Yeah.
think that from a scientific perspective, that like it's basically an assumption or like a faith. Like, you can't really like prove. Whereas like going with the established systems of like scientific thought.
Yeah. No, I get what you mean.
Yeah.
If you want a rational explanation for what aesthetics is, then yeah, saying it's an evolutionary thing is
I think that makes the most
a
sense.
good argument. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't think currently of any arguments against it, but I will try my best to.
For strengths.
Yeah.
Colin, can I
That's
cancel
interesting
Zol? Can I
to do.
cancel Zen ult with my ult?
Yeah, I think so.
I got slept unfortunately, so it doesn't even matter. If we can hold off, I can.
Oh,
do
just
it
one,
next.
just one. Got him.
I'll touch. I touched.
I think Aiden, you have to get in this order to help him out. I'm not gonna be able to respawn on time. Damn it.
Oh shit.
Oh.
It's fine. We've got more time than them. We've got 2 minutes 30. They got a minute.
In the Mauga tank matchup, the number of times that the other tank has been a Mauga, doesn't even matter what your tank is, and all you have to do is just stand in between the Mauga when he tries to shoot at your tank, and he just evaporates.
Hanzo won. Okay, I don't think we're gonna get killed if we don't.
Hold on, I got a huge.
I
ult
almost got
coming,
him
but I
with
want
a
to save
deflex.
it. Get ready, get ready, get ready.
Big.
All hacked.
How did that only... Bro, the Mauga's damage reduction screws up my blade a lot. Because he gives global damage reduction to his team. And it makes me...
Damage reduction? I thought it was like lifesteal.
It's both. They get a severe amount of damage reduction by being around him.
You got the honor? Oh my god, I'm so good at this game.
Nice. Good shot.
I got Zen. Both healers down.
Oh.
Hanzo killable.
Mauga may be killable.
Yep, I'll try and push Hanzo.
Ana's distracted. Mauga killable.
Hanzo dead. Hanzo dead.
Nice. Soldier on point.
Dead.
Unkillable? Obviously.
I think she's killable, bro.
That was a brain dead call.
Oh, it's me, guys. Watch me get slapped and then get woken up. Oh, it's not that.
No, that is when you got slapped. Is it not? Oh, you're not that.
It is when I got slapped, but it didn't show me getting slapped, so
Yeah, you're right.
I don't know.
Pulling the tank.
There was something in the air last night.